What's going on, guys? Conviction 454 here. And today I wanted to talk about a bit of a sensitive topic for some in regards to those who have been trying to pursue next-gen consoles, particularly a PlayStation 5 between last year and this year. For those of you who've really been following the media and really been following the gaming industry and what's been going on, you know that trying to get a next-gen console is very difficult, to the point where people are getting very belligerent and nonsensical, and when it comes to trying to get one. And pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this video is an article that I came across not too long ago in regards to this third-party company that I believe they were doing this limited edition sales period of a PlayStation 5 that was based off of the PO2's not PO2, but the PS2's original design. And apparently, just like every other retailer that's been selling a PlayStation 5, it sold out pretty quickly. Pre-orders came in, and it was eventually taken down. Well, not eventually, but it was taken down within minutes. But now people are talking about their orders are getting canceled, and the websites are being taken down and stuff like that. And so I wanted to touch on that article a little bit and touch on my thoughts on that. Otherwise, for those of you who have been following my PS5 videos, you know that I obviously got one. I have to tell you, man, that just might be the best console I've ever used in my 22-year-old life, and I've been gaming since I was 4. I am so serious. The PlayStation 5 is one hell of a console, and the reason why I say that is not only due to the improvements they made on the user interface, which I mentioned in one video before, but there's so many games that you can play right off the bat, whether it be last gen or this gen. I know the PlayStation 5 doesn't really have a lot of launch exclusives, but it does have a few, and they're good, and I think that's what really counts. I'd rather have a few exclusives than none, which Xbox doesn't have. But this video, I'm not trying to bash Xbox in this video. I just really want to talk about the PS5 today. Well, not necessarily. I want to just talk about next-gen consoles in general, and why I think we, as the people that are seriously into gaming, need to maybe kind of step in and try to convince the people that are still trying to get consoles that you really need to just tone down, relax, and just wait it out a few months, because over time consoles they're going to become easier and easier to obtain. And so there's really no sense in risking your life going into big huge crowds like on launch day for both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. You had people setting up their mattresses outside waiting for stock to come in, during a pandemic of all times. You can't do stuff like that. We're still in a pandemic. We really have to be careful. And so I worry for people who are just going above and beyond to get a game console that they'll be able to get in a few months. Now, that situation is different from the entire scalping thing that's been going on, because if you buy from a scalper, you're not necessarily endangering yourself. You may be endangering your pocket, but not your life. But yeah, it's already been 4 minutes already. I did want to go on ahead and touch on this article I saw and just give my opinions on it and stuff like that. And probably at the end of the article, I'll talk a little bit more about my experience with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox so far. So alright guys, so the original article that I was looking for was taken down, but I found one that's pretty similar on Screen Rant. But yeah, pretty much like the title says, the Black PS5 seller cancels all orders following threats to safety. This third-party organization that I mentioned before, called Superfire, they canceled, and they're refunding pre-orders for this Really cool looking PS5 that was based off of the PS2. And honestly, if I would have had the chance to grab one of these, I probably would have. But at this point, I'm pretty sure a lot of you can resonate with me right now. Just getting a PS5 is a blessing on its own. And for those of you who have had the luxury of being able to play on one so far, you know how good this console is. But yeah, it says the retro black PlayStation 5 is sadly no more. As Super 5, the third-party team behind the limited edition custom consoles, revealed this week that has canceled all orders with full refunds after it allegedly received threats to team members' safety. Again, people acting so belligerent and crazy and just flat out vile over a gaming console that they'll be able to get within months is it's really disappointing. It's barbaric. It's ridiculous. But to continue with the article, the news comes just days after Super 5 allowed the expensive pre-orders for the PlayStation 2 inspired black consoles to go live. And then there's a slideshow that I'm obviously not going to go through. In December, Super 5 announced that it was they had planned to release 650 customized versions of the PlayStation 5, which would supposedly support all black outer plates and a small cover PlayStation logo inspired by the PS2's aesthetics. That sounds really, really nice. Sounds, well, frankly, I think it's a genius idea. And I'm willing to bet that there's probably people trying to sell this limited edition PS5 on eBay right now for thousands of dollars, which obviously isn't worth it. I may have paid $834 for my PlayStation 5, but I probably wouldn't pay over $900 for one. Let's be real here. Well, first, I really didn't want to buy the $835 one, but honestly, I got a little impatient, and I just really wanted to get a PlayStation 5, and I had the extra cash, so I just went on ahead and did it. And I know me saying that the console is like one of the best I've ever played isn't really a good idea if I'm trying to prevent people from doing what I did. But hey, I can't lie, it's a fantastic console. Let's see here. Only 304 retro PS5s were made, so a very, very small supply. Which Super 5 said was a tribute to the original launch day of the PlayStation 2, of course. Let's see. But the consoles never made it out of the warehouse. Now that's a very, very controversial statement because now you got people believing that this entire thing was a scam. And if it was, which I don't really think it was, that's not good. I know that's an understatement, but that's really not good. They shared a now deleted statement on Twitter explaining that the team received credible threats to their safety and will not proceed with the consoles. And the sad thing is, I believe it now. I haven't checked Twitter, and nor am I have a Twitter account, but I don't like the whole Twitter ecosystem. I think it's full of overly dramatic weirdos, to be honest. Not trying to be disrespectful, that's just how I feel. Like I said, yeah, they pretty much in this article they're just talking about the celebration of the nostalgia. Honestly, the PlayStation 2 was to this date the best PlayStation to ever exist. Pretty much everyone I knew owned a PS2, and it was really good. Even though I was more of a GameCube fan at the time. But yeah, just going over this article, it really baffles me that people are really acting like this over a gaming console. But I do think that this implies a lot for the future of PlayStation, or at least how PlayStation or Sony is going to do for this gen. I think they're going to win it. You don't really hear, well, not as much, but you don't really hear stuff about the Xbox Series X in relevance to the PlayStation 5 and the feedback we've gotten from that. Like, the PlayStation 5 is like probably the most popular and most in-demand console right now. I'm willing to bet that there's some statistics somewhere on the internet that I could find that will prove that. But yeah, I guess what I'm really just trying to say is, for the people that don't have a PlayStation 5 out there, please be patient. Give it a few months. It will get easier. Make sure to keep checking YouTube. I know there's several YouTubers who are covering stock and the availability of the PlayStation 5. Uh, and like I covered in in a couple of my previous videos, StockX is selling them, or at least people are posting their PlayStation 5s on StockX for a higher price, which is still better than eBay. Call them scalpers if you want to, but that's where I got my PlayStation 5. It's 100% legit. If you want to check that out, go ahead and look at my previous videos. But if you like really need a PS5 right now, buy it from StockX. Like, just buy it from StockX. Or if you're, a patient individual and you really maybe don't even really care about gaming all that much, just wait it out. It'll be available. I'm willing to bet sometime around June, July-ish, you'll probably be able to get a PS5 off of Amazon or even at Walmart a lot more easily than you can now. So yeah, just keep that in mind, and also keep yourself safe. You don't want to get sick waiting in huge lines over a gaming console under any circumstances. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to really pull out of this article, guys. But now just to talk a little bit more about my experience with the PlayStation 5. Alright, so just to talk a little bit more about why I really like the PlayStation 5. I wanted to start with something that may seem insignificant to some people, but I have to talk about this DualSense controller. This bad boy here. This controller here might be one of the best controllers I've used in a long time. It might be the best one I've ever used, and the reason why I say that is because when you're holding it, it feels like whatever game that you're playing that's optimized for the PlayStation 5, like you're actually in the game, or like there's something like it's hard to explain. This might sound a little weird, but it sounds like there's actually something in the controller that's not like the battery and other components. It's hard to explain. It's something that you really have to experience like firsthand in order to really understand the haptic feedback, and which, for those of you who don't know, the triggers have like top-notch haptic feedback in them. So like when you push down, the analog, depending on how far you push it down, like there's like feedback, like very specific and precise feedback depending on the actions that are going on in the game. So like if you were holding a bow and arrow like in the game, for example, and then you push this button here to like prepare to launch it, and then you actually like push this to actually fire the arrow, you would feel the difference. You would feel the contrast in the triggers to like almost perfect precision. Another thing it does is there's some features on it, like you can mute all of the audio by pushing the power button, or not the power button but the logo down. Actually no, not the logo. There's a button like right underneath the logo. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm talking about, yeah, it's like a button like right underneath there actually. Yeah, I just pressed the button. It's glowing right now. You can actually mute the microphone, and I think you can also mute all the audio as well, either with the logo or with that button as well. But yeah, I need to play around with it some more. I've been way too busy playing some games. Another thing I like about the controller is the improved touchpad. Like, there's a few games that I've played, like Astro's Playroom, and there was another game. Which game was it? Oh, Spider-Man Miles Morales, where the touchpad is very important. I don't want to spoil anything for Miles Morales. That game, on its own, is fantastic. As a matter of fact, I have a 10-minute clip I'm going to upload that I really think you guys should watch, because it's like I could sit here and tell you that it's incredible or whatever I want to say, but you really have to take a look at it, and more importantly, you really have to play it yourself, because it's a very, very fantastic game. It's a short game. I haven't finished it, but I've heard from several other people that it's a very short game. But just that game alone is probably going to be in contention for Game of the Year 2021. So be on the lookout for Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm about to talk about another accessory, which is the Pulse 3D headset. I actually just ordered it yesterday and got it today from Amazon Prime. Thank you, Amazon. They sound great. I still need to play around with these some more, but the audio on these, I actually need to test them out on some more games for the PlayStation 5. But for I used it on my phone today, and I used it for Miles Morales. Amazing, incredible. If you're looking for a headset, you might as well just go on ahead and buy these. They're called the Pulse 3D headsets for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So definitely check that out as well. Alright, so one thing I will say about the controller is that the battery is only a little bit better than the DualSense controller for the PlayStation. No, I'm sorry, not DualSense. I think it was DualShock PlayStation 4 controller. But honestly, due to the new USB-C technology, the charger will charge the controller very, very quickly. Usually within 45 minutes to an hour for a full charge, based on what I've noticed. But these are the PS5 games that I've collected so far. Might be missing one. No, actually, I'm not at the moment anyway. I'm about to probably purchase some either later tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, Miles Morales, Immortals Phoenix Rising, which I thought this game was going to be pretty bad, but it turns out it's actually pretty decent. Haven't played this just yet, but it's installed on my PS5 and I'm getting ready to play it probably tonight or tomorrow. And then Watch Dogs Legion, I haven't played this yet either. So yeah, I've got some work to do. But Spider-Man Miles Morales and Immortals Phoenix Rising, graphically amazing. I wouldn't necessarily call Phoenix Rising's gameplay amazing, but it is pretty fun. It's pretty good. But this game right here, no question about it, amazing all the way around. So I definitely recommend getting Miles Morales if you plan on grabbing the PlayStation 5. Alright guys, so I'm going to go on ahead and wrap up this video. You may be asking why I added Red Dead Redemption 2 here. Well, it's because, one, it's one of my favorite games ever. Like, I'm on my second playthrough on it now, but my very first playthrough was something I'll always remember. It's a fantastic game. But also because the game looks better, a lot better on PlayStation 5 than it did PS4. So keep in mind, the PS5 can run PS4 discs and obviously digital games too, with enhancements, depending on the title. But my point in mentioning that is that, I mean, we already have a very, very huge collection of games that we can play on this console, and with more and more titles that have been announced for PlayStation 5 already getting ready to be released, oh man, I'm really, really excited for the future. That's all I have to really say. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. Be on the lookout for my Miles Morales 10-minute video that I recorded last night. I was kind of just tinkering around with the features and the gameplay a little bit the other day, and I just figured you guys would want to see that. But as usual, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.